Hi guys, it's Wendy from Ask the Landlady. I'm here with all the tips and tricks to help you make a profit in real estate rentals. So check out my books on Amazon and my website, askthelandlady.com. I have a bunch of forms and some cool shirts and swag and all sorts of goodies on there. So check out my website. But today's question, because I've mentioned it several times, so people have said, what is a land contract? You've been mentioning this magical thing called a land contract or seller financing, which is, it can work for both ways. You could be the person who is going to offer a land contract to a great tenant because that's your end game to get out of real estate, and you eventually they own it instead of you, and you've made your money. Or it could be that you want to buy a house, but you don't want to go through a bank, but you want to buy it from the seller directly, and the seller becomes the bank. So those are the types of situations where you're going to look at this type of magical scheme here. And it's a great tool when you know how to use it, and when you have, again, some professionals that can help advise you. You want to have all your documents written up by an attorney and signed off on so everybody knows what's going on in this type of transaction. So basically what happens is the seller of the property becomes the bank, right? Now they are Wells Fargo or Bank of America or Chase Bank or whatever. They're selling the property to a buyer with some mutually agreed upon terms. So many times you can craft a deal with somebody that's a great win-win situation. You as an investor, you're short on cash, and you can't offer 20% down payment. Maybe you only have 10% down, but you can give them a little bit more interest rate because you know this is going to rent and make bank. And so that's where this person can get something that he or she wants out of it. Like, I want to make 8% flat rate. What a great idea off my money. And I can't get it anywhere else. So I could do that through selling something to somebody on land contract. There is a subtle difference between land contract and seller financing. Land contract is a seller financing. It's where the seller still retains the title until the buyer has made all the payments, right? You still retain the title to that property. If you're just doing seller financing, you want your buyer to take a hold of the title immediately, and you just have the mortgage. So there's a subtle difference there. You may want to discuss with your accountant which one might be better for you. And you still can do all your terms, like, the ones that I'm buying from people are mostly seller financing. They want me to have the title immediately. If not, I have some that they get the title later. In any case, it's been written in there that I'm responsible for the real estate taxes, right? And all the issues that come up with that building, any repairs, that type of thing, because I'm essentially buying it to own it. And those things are written into the contract there to do that. So again, a great little tool for both sides to definitely be a win-win situation. And when you go to look at, say, a single family home that you want to rent out or a duplex from somebody, I always ask up front, would you consider seller financing? Would you consider a land contract? And if they acted all intrigued, I ask more questions to find out what they want. What do they need? Do they need to sell this thing immediately? Like, they need cash, right? Or do they want a nice monthly payment put into their account? I found out from somebody once that they just wanted to be able to pay off their car, right? And it's like, well, how much is that? Okay, they only needed $5,000 for that. So that meant I could go into a deal with less money down. I could give them enough money to go pay off their car. Then we got a nice agreement where I'm renting the house for $1,300 and I'm paying them $400 a month, right? It just worked out great for me and for them, because that's what they wanted. I was able to give them full asking price based on this type of scheme, because I didn't have a lot of cash on hand to go down there, but I could give them a better interest rate and worked it out with a balloon payment, like 10 years, because most people, they don't want to be beholden. They don't want to wait 30 years to get their money, right? Or 20 years to get their money, but a nice 10-year payment, where a balloon payment, then I know I can go to the bank because I've already paid them that long amount of time, and maybe the interest rates will be better then. Or I'm stockpiling money because I'm making like triple the rent. I'm stockpiling the money, so at the end, when I know I owe them $57,000.62, I have it, and I will just done. Then I own it free and clear, and I get all the money each month, right? So these can be great tools to work out on both sides. Whether you're tired of your stuff and you want to sell it to somebody else, it can be a good way to hedge your bets on your taxes and not have to pay capital gains right away and get a nice little monthly income. And it can be a great way for you to acquire property if you're short on cash and you want to craft a great deal with somebody that has a little bit more flexibility. And you know, the sky's the limit. There's all sorts of things. Check out my book and I'll tell you more ways to do that. In any case, shoot me a comment. Love to hear if you've ever done seller financing on either side and whether it's been a good thing or a bad thing, because again, we're all in this together. We could only learn from each other. Have a great day.